This is Keith Helwig from Cops Corrections Videos. If you like my videos, please hit the subscribe button. I'd like to talk today about complacency. Now, I know I've talked about this before, but complacency is one of the biggest killers that we in law enforcement face. Whether it's in the prisons, whether it's on the streets, whether it's probation and parole, complacency in law enforcement is a problem that plagues everybody. You know, I'm like most cops. You know, I like to watch videos of other incidents and see what's happening and, you know, just see how people handle things. Well, I saw one recently where, and I'm not going to say where it was from, but the officer's dealing with someone who's extremely hostile, and the officer's standing talking to this man with his hands in his pockets. And I'm thinking, holy crap, you know, he's got his hands in his pockets. This guy is being aggressive towards him, and he is standing with his hands in his pockets. You know, that was one of the things I ran into when I was a captain at the prison. I had some officers who liked to stand in the chow hall with their hands in their pocket. I recall one, it was his habit, and I walked by and I popped him in the stomach with the back of my hand and told him, you know, keep your hands out of your pockets. Well, it was really funny because when I'd go down to the dining hall, if he was down there and he saw me, his hands came out of his pocket, but it was like he was having a minor seizure because he didn't know what to do with his hands. You know, I always told people, keep your hands in a ready position. You don't have to look like you're getting ready to punch somebody, but keep your hands in a ready position. Keep your hands so you can defend yourself if you have to defend yourself. Complacency kills. You know, another thing that people get complacent on are searches, you know, patting them down. How many police videos have you seen where they'll find a gun in the back seat of their car, or they'll find a knife or a gun on someone when they check them into the jail? I know when I was the assistant jail administrator for a local county, on more than one occasion we would have officers bring someone in and we would find a knife on them, or we would find other contraband, whether it was marijuana, whether it was heroin, whatever. And, you know, obviously it was pretty apparent that they hadn't been properly searched. There's a lot of ways to become complacent. Now, can I say that I've never been complacent? Certainly I have. Anybody who says in this job who says they've never been complacent, that they've always been on high alert, well, they're trying to spoon feed you some BS. Complacency happens because we're used to things not happening. You know, I used to always tell people that we don't get paid for what we do. We get paid for what we might have to do. If you're being complacent, you're not preparing yourself for what you might have to do. You know, as a police officer, when I go up to a car, it would be real easy for me to be complacent and just walk over and lean in the driver's window and say, hey, how you doing? You stopped you for speeding, blah, 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 blah. You know, I've been doing this a long time, and I try to maintain my situational awareness. I approach the car slowly. I see who's in the car, how many people are in the car. I never pass the front pillar on the driver's side. I always make them turn to hand the license to me. I get a good look in the car. Unfortunately, working in rural areas, a lot of times I can't do a passenger side approach. But when I can, I do a passenger side approach because that gives me the opportunity to look in the car. And not only that, people really don't expect it. You know, maybe some states that's the expectation that they're going to come to the passenger side, but that's not the expectation here. 9 times out of 10, if I do a passenger side entry or approach to a vehicle, I'm going to see the person staring in the rear view or the driver's side mirror looking for me to come forward. And during that time, I can look in the car. I can see if there's any weapons. I can see if there's anything that may present a danger to me. You know, try not to become complacent. You know, if you are a parole agent and you're doing a home visit, don't assume that just because you've been in this house a dozen other times and nothing ever happened, that nothing will happen. Because that's when something is going to happen. So, I guess that's my major complaint, my major rant this time, is be aware of complacency. Complacency kills. Until next time, this is Keith Helwig, Cops Corrections. Stay safe and watch your back.